one more tense left, that is future tense. Right. Come to the first one. Now before moving on to the categories, which two words tell us that a sentence belongs to future tense? Will or shall? Will or shall tells us that a sentence belongs to the future tense. So in every category of future tense, will or shall must be there. Now will can be used for shall can be used for will. There is no much difference, but there is a rule for it. I'll tell you that. Now the past tense of will is would. The past tense of shall is also would. The past tense of shall is not should. Should is something different. Should is a modal. I told you in subjective agreement, telling us about a compulsory action. The past tense of both will and shall is would. So will can be used for shall can be used for will. There's no much difference, but there's a rule for it. Last session, while discussing subjective agreement, I told you about first person, second person, third person. We have discussed it. The speaker is the first person, the listener is the second person, the person talked about is the third person. First persons are I and we discussed it. The second person is you, the third persons are he, she, it, they. First persons are I and we, second person is you, third persons are he, she, it, they. Now the rule is this: with first person use shall, with second person and third person use will. With first person use shall, with second person, third person use will. That means I shall, we shall, you will, he will, she will, they will. But you should not agree with me, because even though this is the rule, it is not followed. We say I shall or I will, we shall, we will, you shall, you will, he shall, he will, she shall, she will. So even though this is the rule, it is not followed. But this is the rule. If I say they dash come here, options are will or shall. They dash come here. If I say they dash come here, is this sentence talking about a compulsory action? Now first thing is try to understand the meaning of a sentence. Right? Then think about the rule. They dash come here. This sentence is not talking about a compulsory action. Leave it there, I'll come back to it. They dash have to come here. Compulsory? Yes. Because have to is a modal telling us about a compulsory action. So they dash come here is not a compulsory action. They dash have to come here is a compulsory action. Now as I said, with first person use shall, with second person and third person use will. But if the sentence talks about a compulsory action, then just reverse the rule. That means with first person use will, with second person and third person use shall. So basic rule is with first person use shall, with second person, third person use will. But if a sentence talks about a compulsory action, as I said, reverse the rule. With first person use will, with second person and third person use shall. Now come to this, the same statements I gave. They dash come here is not a compulsory action. The subject here is they, third person, not a compulsory action, so it must be will, they will come here. They dash have to come here, compulsory, because have to is a modal telling us about a compulsory action. They dash have to come here is a compulsory action. Subject here is they, third person, compulsory action, it must be they shall have to come here. We dash go there, not compulsory. We dash have to go there, compulsory. We dash go there is not a compulsory action. The subject here is we, first person. The subject is the first person, not a compulsory action. It must be shall. We shall go there. We dash have to go there is compulsory. The subject is we, first person, compulsory action, so it must be we will have to go there. Anyway, don't think about this rule while approaching sentence improvement and spotting there. Because will can be used for shall can be used for will. Think about this rule only when you come across will and shall as options while approaching questions like cloze test and fill in the blanks. Or the case of sentence improvement. If you have two correct options and if the only difference between those two options is will and shall, think about this rule or else don't think about it. Because will can be used for shall can be used for will. Anyway, this is the rule. Right. Now as I said, will or shall tells us that a sentence belongs to a future tense. So in every category of future tense, in all the four categories of future tense, will or shall must be there. Now come to the first category, simple future. Now the structure of simple future is subject plus will or shall plus V1 plural. Now in the future tense, the verb does not depend on the subject. The verb does not depend on the subject in the future tense. Now in the future tense, no matter whether the subject is singular or plural, the verb must always be plural. We can never find a singular verb in the future tense. In the future tense, the verb must always be plural irrespective of the subject. So simple future structure is subject plus will or shall plus V1 always plural. He goes to school in the simple future tense becomes he will. Now according to this rule, okay fine, he will go to school. He will goes to school is wrong, must be he will go to school and go is V1 plural. According to this rule, it must be he will or he shall. It is not a compulsory action. The subject here is he, third person, not a compulsory action, so it must be he will go to school. He shall is also correct, but as per the rule, it must be he will. He will go to school. The situation to use simple future, we'll discuss that. So simple future subject plus will or shall plus V1 always plural. Come to the second category, future continuous. Now present continuous means you think about which three auxiliary verbs? Yes, are and am. Past continuous, was and were. I told you at the beginning, yes, are, am, was and were are forms of be. Be is an auxiliary verb and the forms of be are is, are, am, was and were. Yes, are and am come in present continuous. Was and were come in past continuous. Be comes in future continuous. So future continuous means always think about be. And continuous means it is always V1 plus IH. So future continuous structures subject plus will or shall must be there. Subject plus will or shall plus be plus V1 plus IH. Subject plus will or shall plus be plus V1 plus ING is future continuous. He goes to school in the future continuous tense becomes he will be going to school. He will be going to school is future continuous. Now we have only two categories left, future perfect and future perfect continuous. Now you know while speaking or while writing, usually we don't make use of future perfect and future perfect continuous. So they may sound incorrect, but they're correct. So only thing is going by the rules. Come to third category, future perfect. Now present perfect means you think about has and have. Past perfect means you think about had. Now in future perfect, will or shall will anyway be there. My question is it has, have or had? Had comes only in the past tense. In the future tense, we cannot use has because as I said, in the future tense, the verb must always be plural. We can never find a singular verb in the future tense. Has is singular, so has will not come in the future tense. It must always be have. That means no matter whether subject is singular or plural, in the future perfect tense, it must always be have. And perfect, I told you in every perfect tense, V3 must be there. So simple future structure becomes subject plus will or shall plus have plus V3. Future perfect, will or shall must be there because it's future. Future perfect means always think about have, only have. And as is perfect, it must be V3. So subject plus will or shall plus have plus V3. He goes to school in the future perfect tense becomes he will have gone to school. The V3 of goes is gone. He will have gone to school. Sounds incorrect, but it's completely fine. I'll tell you when to use future perfect. In a situation where we need to go for future perfect. So this is future perfect tense. Now the last category is future perfect continuous. The structure of future perfect continuous is subject plus will or shall plus have plus been plus V1 plus ing. Subject plus will or shall plus have plus been plus V1 plus ing is future perfect continuous. He goes to school in the future perfect continuous tense becomes he will have been going to school. He will have been going to school. This future perfect continuous. Sorry, got it? So with this, the basic structure of all the four tenses is over. If you have a good knowledge about this much, the tense and the category of every sentence can be identified. And that's the most important thing, especially in the case of voice and speech. I told you earlier at the beginning, yes, are, am, was and were can only be auxiliary verbs. I told you this. Then I said, has, have and had can be auxiliary verbs as well as main verbs. And main verb means action. Any action can be termed as a main verb. Now I'll tell you how to identify whether has, have and had in a sentence are main verbs or auxiliary verbs. Now we'll discuss how to identify whether has, have and had in a sentence are main verbs or auxiliary verbs. And as I said, main verb means action. Come to the first statement. Okay, come to these statements. I have a bike. I have studied well. She has a book. She has walked fast. I have a bike. I say that in this sentence, have is a main verb. Whereas in the second sentence, I have studied well, I say that have is an auxiliary verb. Similarly, in the sentence, she has a book, I say that has is a main verb. Whereas in the sentence, she has walked fast, I say that has is an auxiliary verb. Come to the first statement. I have a bike. I repeat, main verb means action. I have a bike. Now in this sentence, do we have an auxiliary, do we have a main verb after have? No. There is no main verb after have. When there is no main verb after has, have and had, then they are termed as main verbs. Getting it? When there is no main verb after has, have and had, they are termed as main verbs. I have a bike. In this statement, there is no main verb after have, so have becomes a main verb. Come to the second one. I have studied well. In this case, do we have a main verb after have? Yes. Studied is a main verb, action. So in the second statement, we have a main verb after have. When there is a main verb after have, has, have and had, then they are termed as auxiliary verbs. This is how to identify whether has, have and had in a sentence are main verbs or auxiliary verbs. I repeat, when there is no main verb after has, have and had, they are termed as main verbs. When there is a main verb after has, have and had, they are termed as auxiliary verbs. Come to the second statement once again. I have studied well. In this sentence, we have a main verb after have, studied, so have becomes an auxiliary verb. Come to the third one. She has a book. In this statement, there is no main verb after has, so has becomes a main verb. She has walked fast. Walked is a main verb. So we have a main verb after has, so has becomes an auxiliary verb. Clear? So this is how to identify whether these three, has, have and had, in a sentence are main verbs or auxiliary verbs. Come to the first statement. I have a bike. My question is, what is the tense and the category of this statement? Fine. Present tense, past tense or future tense. It cannot be future because will or shall is not there. Now we have two tenses left, present and past. Have comes only in the present tense. Have does not come in the past tense. Have comes only in the present tense. So it is very clear that I have a bike is in the present tense. Now we need to find out this sentence is in which category of present tense. Simple present, present continuous, present perfect or present perfect continuous. There is no ing here, so it cannot be present continuous. It cannot be present perfect continuous because ing is not there. Now we have only two categories left. One is simple present and the other one is present perfect. Now the structure of present perfect is subject plus has so have plus V3. I told you in every perfect tense V3 must be there. Come to the statement, I have a bike. Is there any V3 here? There's no V3 here. So seeing has so have, we can never conclude that it is present perfect tense because in every perfect tense V3 must be there. There's no V3 here, so it cannot be present perfect. The only category left is simple present. If you go for the elimination process, we can easily identify that. Have comes only in the present, so this sentence is in the present tense. No ing, so not present continuous, not present perfect continuous. No V3, so not present perfect. The only category left is simple present. This is how you need to eliminate options while approaching questions on voice and speech. You'll find in the case of Tier 2, SSC Tier 2, we'll have 27 questions on speech, 20 questions on voice. In Tier 1 as well, we find questions on both voice and speech. I have studied well. In banking exam also same thing. We have questions on speech and all. And closed chess is there, para jumbles is there, fill in the blanks. Fill in the blank questions are there. Reading comprehension is there, sentence improvement is there, spotting error is there. So if you prepare for one examination, it's like preparing for all examinations. But the only thing is in banking we have long passages. We have long passages in the case of banking. That's the only difference. But the way of approach remains the same. We'll discuss all those in detail in the coming sessions. Now, I have a bike. The only category left is simple present. The structure of simple present tense is subject plus V1. V1 means main verb in the first form, present form. I have a bike. Have is a main verb here because there's no main verb after have. I told you earlier, every main verb has these three forms, V1, V2 and V3. V1 is the present form, V2 is the past form, V3 is the past participle form. Have is a main verb here, so have must have these three forms, V1, V2 and V3. Have is in the V1 form. It must be V1 because have comes only in the present tense and V1 is called the present form. Have is V1, V2 is had, V3 is also had. It is have, had. I have a bike. We'll just write down the order of the sentence. The subject here is I. The subject here is I plus have is a main verb in the V1 form. So this sentence is in the order subject plus V1 and subject plus V1 is a structure of simple present tense. So I can say this sentence is in the simple present tense. I have a bike means I possess a bike, I own a bike, etc. So I have a bike is simple present. Come to the second one. I have studied well. No will or shall. So my question is which tense, which category? No will or shall, nor future. Have does not come in the past tense. Have comes only in the present tense. So this sentence is in the present tense. No ing, not present continuous, not present perfect continuous. Now we have only two categories left. One is simple present, the other one is present perfect. Have is an auxiliary verb here because studied is a main verb. Just write down the order of this sentence. The subject here is I plus have is an auxiliary verb plus studied is V3. Studied is both V2 and V3. It's study, studied, studied. But there's nothing like subject plus have plus V2. It's always subject plus have plus V3. So studied in this sentence is in the V3 form and not in the V2 form. So this sentence is in the order subject plus have plus V3, and subject plus have plus V3 is present perfect tense. So I can say this sentence is in the present perfect tense. Getting it? Come to the next one. She has a book. No will or shall, not future. Has comes only in the present tense, so not past tense. It must be in one of the 4 categories of present tense. No ing, not present continuous, not present perfect continuous. We have only 2 categories left. One is simple present, the other one is present perfect. Present perfect means V3 must be there. Subject plus has to have plus V3. There is no V3 in this sentence, so it cannot be present perfect. The only category left is simple present. So we found out this sentence is in the simple present tense. Has is a main verb here because there's no main verb after has. Has becomes a main verb. And as I said, every main verb must have these 3 forms: V1, V2 and V3. Has is a main verb here, so has must have these 3 forms. Has is in the V1 form because has comes only in the present tense, and V1 form is called the present form. Has is V1, V2 is had, V3 is also had. It is have, had, has, had. Come to the statement now. She has a book. We'll write down the order of this sentence. The subject here is she, plus has is a main verb in the V1 form. So this sentence is in the order subject plus V1. So this statement is in the order subject plus V1, and subject plus V1 is simple present. Now she has a book means she possesses a book or she owns a book. There's a meaning of this statement. Come to the last one. She has walked fast. Has comes only in the present tense. So this statement is in the present tense undoubtedly. There's no ing, so not continuous, not perfect continuous. Has is an auxiliary verb here because walked is a main verb. Write down the order. We'll write down the order. She is the subject, plus has is an auxiliary verb, plus walked is V3. Walked is also both V2 and V3. It's walk, walked, walked. There's nothing like subject plus has plus V2. It's always subject plus has plus V3. So I can say in this sentence, walked is not in the V2 form, walked is in the V3 form. And subject plus has plus V3 is present perfect tense. So this statement is in the present perfect tense. Got it? This is how we need to identify the tense in the category of every sentence that we come across. Come to the next 2 statements. Come to the next statement. We have hurt him. Now hurt is both V2 and hurt is V1, V2 and V3. It's hurt, hurt, hurt. Now my question is, what is the tense in the category of this sentence? And then in this statement, hurt is V1, V2 or V3. That is my question. We have hurt him. In this statement, have is an auxiliary verb because hurt is a main verb. So have becomes an auxiliary verb. Have comes only in the present tense, so it must be in one of the 4 categories of present tense. No ing, not present continuous, not present perfect continuous. We have only 2 categories left. One is simple present, the other one is present perfect. We'll just write down the order of this statement. The subject here is we, plus have is an auxiliary verb, plus V1. The subject here is we, plus have is an auxiliary verb, plus V1. Is there anything like subject plus have plus V1? No. So hurt is not in the V1. Is there anything like subject plus have plus V2? No. So hurt is not in the V2 form. Anything like subject plus have plus V3? Yes. So in this sentence, hurt is in the V3 form, and subject plus have plus V3 is present perfect tense. So I can say this sentence is in the present perfect tense. Getting it? Right. Come to the next one. He has come here. Come is both V1 and V3. It's come, came, come. What is the tense in the category of this statement? And then we need to find out whether come in this statement is V1 or V3. Has is an auxiliary verb here because come is a main verb. We'll write down the order of this statement. The subject here is he plus has is an auxiliary verb plus V1. Is there anything like subject plus has plus V1? No. So in this statement, come is not in the V1 form. Is there anything like subject plus has plus V3? Yes. And subject plus has plus V3 is a structure of present perfect tense. So this sentence is in the present perfect tense, and in this case, come is in the V3 form. Got it? Come to these statements. Come to the first statement. I have my lunch. Now we always say I had my lunch. If I say I had my lunch, what does it mean? I ate my lunch, completed. So if I say I had my lunch, that means I ate my lunch. I have my lunch means I eat my lunch. You have your lunch. You eat your lunch. Makes sense. I have my lunch. What is the tense and the category of this statement? Have comes only in the present tense, so it must be in one of the four categories of present tense. No ing, not continuous, not perfect continuous. We have only two categories left. One is simple present, other one is present perfect. Have is a main verb here because there is no main verb after have. Now we'll just write down the order of the statement. The subject here is I plus have is a main verb here. Have is a main verb in the V1 form, V2 form or V3 form. V1 form is have, had. I repeat, have is a main verb because there is no main verb after have. Have is a main verb in the V1 form. So this sentence is in the order subject plus V1, and subject plus V1 is simple present tense. So this sentence is in the simple present tense. Now we'll try framing this idea, this sentence, I have my lunch, in all the categories of all the three tenses. I have my lunch is simple present. We'll try framing it in present continuous, present perfect continuous. Similarly, all categories of past tense, all categories of future tense. I have my lunch is simple present. Present continuous structure is subject plus yes, are, or am plus V1 plus ing. The subject here is I, and with I we have to use am. So this idea in the present continuous tense becomes I am having my lunch. The subject here is I plus am plus having is V1 plus ing. Subject plus am plus V1 plus ing is present continuous tense. So I am having my lunch is in the present continuous tense. The third category is present perfect. Present perfect is subject plus has or have plus V3. The subject here is I. With I we have to use have. The verb in the sentence is have. So present perfect is subject plus has or have plus V3. The subject here is I. The first statement I am saying, the subject here is I. With I we don't use has, with I we use have. So it must be I have plus V3. The verb in the sentence is have, and the V3 of have is had. It is have, had. V1, V2, V3. The verb in the sentence is have, main verb. The V3 of have is had. So I have had my lunch. I have had my lunch. Subject plus have plus V3. Sounds incorrect but completely fine. I'll tell you when to use it. So I have had my lunch is present perfect tense. I have had my lunch is present perfect. The fourth category is present perfect continuous. Structures subject plus has or have plus been plus V1 plus ing. I have been having my lunch. The subject here is I plus have plus been plus having is V1 plus ing. Subject plus have plus been plus V1 plus ing is present perfect continuous. So I have been having my lunch is present perfect continuous tense. Now we'll go for the categories in the past tense. The first category is simple past. Structure is subject plus V2. The verb in the sentence is have, and the V2 of have is had. So simple past is I had my lunch. The subject here is I. Had is a main verb here because there's no main verb after had. There's nothing like subject plus V3. There's no structure like subject plus V3. It is subject plus V2, and had is in the V2 form here. So I had my lunch is simple past tense. I had my lunch is simple past. The next category is past continuous. Past continuous structure is subject plus was so verb plus V1 plus ing. With I we don't use were. Were can be used with I only if a sentence is in subjunctive mode, or else in all the other cases it must be was with I. I was having my lunch. The subject here is I plus was plus having is V1 plus ing. So subject plus was plus V1 plus ing is past continuous tense. I was having my lunch is in the past continuous tense. Getting it? The next category is past perfect. Now past perfect structure is subject plus had plus V3. The subject here is I plus had plus V3. The verb in the sentence is have, and the V3 of have is had. So I had my lunch. I had my lunch sounds absolutely incorrect but completely fine. Now there's no redundancy here. There's nothing like repetition here. 2 times had but no repetition. This had is different from this had. Now this had is the past perfect had, whereas second had is a V3 of the verb in the sentence. So I had my lunch is completely fine. There are situations where we need to go for this that we'll discuss after this. So I had my lunch. The subject here is I plus this had is an auxiliary verb. This had is a main verb. V3 of the main verb in the sentence. V3 of have is had. So first had is the auxiliary verb. The second had is the main verb. Subject plus had plus V3 is past perfect tense. So past perfect is I had my lunch. The next category is past perfect continuous. Structure is subject plus had plus been plus V1 plus ing. I had been having my lunch. The subject here is I plus had plus been plus having is V1 plus ing. And subject plus had plus been plus V1 plus ing is past perfect continuous. I had been having my lunch. Clear to you? Now with this all the 4 categories of past tense also over. Now we have one more tense left, future tense. Come to first category, simple future. Structure is subject plus will or shall plus V1 always plural. With I it must be shall or will. I told you this rule. Now there is no compulsory action here. There is no compulsory action here. The subject is I, first person, not a compulsory action. It must be shall. Will is also fine, but as per the rule it must be shall. So simple future is subject plus will or shall plus V1 plural. I shall have my lunch. The subject here is I plus shall plus have is V1 plural. Has is V1 singular, have is V1 plural. So subject plus shall plus have is V1 plural. Subject plus shall plus V1 plural is simple future. So I shall have my lunch is in the simple future tense. Getting it?